Guys, Vince right here, and pretty much there's really not much videos or anything to do for Vince Talk other than me talking about One Piece because I have during the time of my quarantine in the hotel and during when I had the whole COVID thing and pretty much I was affected by it and I could do nothing but stay home and basically not do anything. I was supposed to like exercise and go to the gym and also just or in some cases enjoy my summer in some ways, but that did not happen. So I had to resort to something, and I decided to actually rediscover or rewatch some of the stuff that I watched decades ago. And one of those is, well, One Piece. One Piece being kind of like, in some ways, my first ever anime that I ever been introduced, all thanks to Toonami. This was like back in '06. Gosh, I was so I don't know if I was like probably around elementary during that time, but yeah, pretty much it's kind of crazy how I'm getting caught up of something that was especially One Piece and catching up to the Water 7 arc. And for those that don't know, there's different arcs, and this is like almost like season 13 or something. I don't know. The numbers of One Piece it's skyrocketed. It's too much. It's like at this point 1,000 episodes or whatever. And I am familiar with certain other cartoon shows that have been out there for decades, like Simpsons and The Family Guy. But for One Piece, an anime that really achieved that high, and let me tell you, I am not the biggest um connoisseur or fanatic of One Piece. Okay, I'm still in some cases new because remember, it's been decades, decades of me getting caught up. I mean, I would say decades because pretty much it's an anime that I started watching in '06, and I was in the Water 7 arc. And this is giving you a good idea of how big is the whole like one Water 7 arc, if you know what I mean, about season 13, about the whole thing when they were introduced to Frankie, the whole One Piece crew. I in '06 and pretty much later on in 2012 I tried to get caught up and stuff like that as I was pretty much introduced to AnimeX, which is and for those that are from America, you probably don't know what AnimeX is. AnimeX is pretty much it's Funimation, or the first ever kind of like form of Funimation, or for first ever channel for animes like Bleach, Naruto, and all that. And Animex is a TV program for other countries that is basically not really from the from America or probably from Japan, because it's usually from other countries. And me growing up in the Philippines, I pretty much it was kind of like my resort to anime content. I was introduced to Mario-sama, and also I was introduced to like what is it, Surgeon Frog, all these old school animes that I used to watch, that I grew up and pretty much channeled my inspiration or influence in anime, even though I'm not the biggest anime fan. But in some ways it did influence my storytelling and what I'm into. And pretty much that was literally the channel I go to. And if you grew up like in Europe, in areas in Africa and Latin America, and even in parts of South or Southeast Asia, like myself, you probably remember Animex. And Animex is something that is not really, common, I believe, in Canada or in the U.S. But it is common in other countries that are, especially ones that are not really developed, that actually have this source from, if anybody remembers. Okay, you have to be basically out of the country to from America, because I always keep thinking like America is the place, because I'm just been here for so long. I've kind of forgot about all the memories I have in abroad. So yeah, in 2012, continuing, still in the Water 7 arc when they capture Robin. And also going into 2017, I believe, when I try to get caught up, try to understand, when I was looking at, when basically the whole pirated anime stuff goes into play. And this was like years ago. I believe they're not even out there. Who knows, if you can watch, but I don't promote anything pirated at all. That's just a policy that I have to, adapt. I think I could be wrong. I have no idea. But some pirated side that I watch, continue to watch One Piece, still in the Water 7 arc. And now here I am today, from 2017 to 2022. Basically, years later, I am continuing the Water 7 arc, and I finished it. I finished it all the way when we were introduced to the guy with the fiery abilities that meet the guys that were hunting down a city, or at least when it was announced when the posters of the bounties were up for the One Piece crew. So that's where I am right now. And mind you, numbers, I can't do you justice of actually knowing the numbers, knowing the seasons. I don't freaking know, okay? It's so much. One Piece content, and for those that are huge in One Piece, they're probably cringing in their boots, like, you know what I mean? Because if there's one thing about certain fandoms, people that are into something, like, they probably, like, I'm hoping that they don't get mad at me because I just don't freaking know. Okay, that's why I don't dabble into, like, big animes like One Piece or like Naruto, especially Naruto. Having that big of a fandom and having a big fan, especially like, other, anime-ish kind of like shows like Avatar, Last Airbender. I can't dabble with that. It's huge. So One Piece is like an impossible feat for me to actually achieve, to actually watch the whole entire season. I can't really do you justice of actually getting caught up, or quote unquote somewhat caught up, because it's 1,000 episodes. I have to like binge. It would take a year to watch all of it. I don't got that kind of time. I'm busy like trying to find an apartment and trying to move, trying to actually get caught up with other shows and other webtoons that you guys wanted. But for this one, it's like One Piece. I'm getting caught up, and pretty much in the Water 7 arc itself. I finished it because I've been curious. I'm curious of like the whole Water 7. The story of the city, and also like Nico Robin, and also the other places surrounding the world of One Piece, in a way where I just want to get caught up, just finally get caught up. And they finally released it on Netflix. They quote unquote called it new episodes, even though if there's one thing about Netflix, they don't really release stuff currently, recently, stuff that is up to date. I don't understand that. Maybe there's some legal issues through that. I heard that, Netflix is falling off hard. I have no idea what's going on over there. But, I'm right now caught up to that extent, I guess. It's not really, because there's still some new members that I'm just trying to find out, the guy, especially the guy with the skeletons. I don't know who he is, but and also like seeing the aging of the crew. It's kind of crazy. One Piece is literally an anime where it catches up all the way up to almost like its lifetime, and also from you seeing the crew getting older and older, pretty much, even though like Luffy still sounds like almost like a kid in a ways because of the voice, but they still they age, and pretty much I don't know what's the timeline between One Piece, as I'm trying to get caught up. I authentically really wish I could watch the whole entire episodes leading up to Water 7, from the beginning to Water 7 arc. And really though, like that's where I'm caught up, and pretty much I am, that's it. I'm saying this because I find myself really, really, kind of like having an interest in being really into the One Piece world, and I've been trying my best to actually, in some cases, find more. But this is my chance of actually just talking about and reviewing One Piece, at least in this area of the season 13 or something. I'm lost. Okay, I don't. It's somewhere in those seasons, I believe. But it's in the Water 7 arc, and I said that a million times at this point, because I'm here to give a review of something, and I just been watching One Piece all around, so why not really talk about it as they pretty much approach to this land, as you see in this picture. Yeah, this is the Water 7. This is the whole land, a freaking big fountain and cities surrounding it. And as they come there just to get their fixed ship, their ship fixed, sorry, I mixed words there. It's basically them trying to achieve their goal to actually repair the ship, but then a whole bunch of stuff just comes down. And this is when we get into the whole, like, Water 7, like, from the issues of, the whole fight between Usopp and Luffy, and also Nico Robin getting, like, in some cases kidnapped or something, or trying to sign a deal, and introduced to CP9, and also, like, the whole Annie's lobby thing. That was a whole thing, okay? I was really, like, on my toes of actually just and bare on my seat and pretty much just watching that whole battle go down and how they gotta come out. And it was a very fulfilling just to see the whole way through, especially the Mary. Man, they really that whole point of the Mary, especially the song and the credits. That's one thing I miss, and it's something that I really like about that whole entire arc is talking about how much they really care about the Mary and how the Mary speaks to the crew in a ways, because that's one of the things that I just love about this whole Water 7. It's all about patience. It's all about kind of like care, especially throughout the storytelling of what they really showcase in in this anime, because it really does take a lot of time. I couldn't imagine watching it during ads or actually just waiting for another episode. I don't know how I achieved that. No wonder I actually did not finish it when back in '06 or in 2012, because I had to wait for another episode to come out for and it's a long season of just amounts of episodes of them trying to get through, all the way from them going to the island, going to R7, from leaving. And that is a long case. I mean, they did leave because they were trying to go to the Ennis lobby just to rescue Nico. But man, the characters development and everything, you see all like, especially this there was this one part between the whole series of this arc where they tried to actually tell the stories of the whole entire recap of them, like from different characters, from Usopp's to Sanji to Nami, and just like them showing the recaps of them. And pretty much they use a lot of recap footage, a lot in this arc. I don't know where that really came from, but they use a lot of that. But they also use the storytelling, also the past, in from past, future, present, or something, well, past the present of the CP9. We start to see the stories between Lucci, and also the stories of, like, where Frankie came from, and also like who's Tom, and also like Iceberg as well. That was a also interesting yet you see Frankie's hard-headedness showcase in this whole entire series as well, and also how the whole crew introduced like every character, almost every character is, especially the ones that like are just like not even the main characters, get their own story, get their own, like, arc in ways of where they come from. And that's pretty much a cool way of actually showcasing of where these guys came from. And it's pretty cool just to see that, especially I don't really see a lot of animes doing that, or from what I remember, I don't even see a lot because I don't watch a lot of shonen. So this is like fresh, this is like new to me. So I just see all of them telling the story of where they're from, and it always really drives my kind of like ambition of just seeing how this whole world is built up. There's just some that beauty of just building something up from years, and you just build it up to something now, and you just create a whole entire world of it. The world building surrounding Water 7, even Ennie's lobby, and also the other places, especially within the One Piece universe, is interesting. Especially the world government has captured my interest of knowing like how they run it and how they are even going to capture some of these of the One Piece crew, because you just see like a good amount of them just having their own bounties, spend depending on like how much they have. Some of them are happy, some of them are not, but also like how it really adapts to just where the story is going from this Water 7 arc to where it is now, and also like where it builds, like who's even gonna stop them or anything. And every anime they battle always builds this tenseness. It's never that long battle, especially in Voltron when it was going into like different when, especially I will never forget in the show Voltron in Netflix. If anybody knows that show, okay, I don't have time to recap it, but it really just there was this fight scene, this final battle scene that stretches out too long, and it just got so boring. It was only 3 episodes of that freaking battle scene, but there was fight scene here with like stretches out to 4 episodes or even 3, and it builds this interest where it just builds up to the there's someone using the restroom, by the way. If you hear that, I'm sorry. But it just builds like that it captures me. It captures me whenever I see these battles and stuff like that, and I really do enjoy like how it just really builds to that different extent of what it has like I never thought it like the battle between like especially the whole Lucci versus Luffy battle. That one is tiring, to be honest. Okay, I just got there was some points where I'm just like wondering like where's this even going, but I like how it goes to every each other character as it's really going. Especially it always comes back to the Lucci and Luffy battle, and then we see the battles between like especially Zoro and Sanji. Their battles. It didn't stretch out long, but it actually built. It's little bits of scenes of where it's going and where they come from and stuff like that, and also bring out a little recap. There's like different routines of these different scenes of the fight scenes mixed with some of the scenes that is for like mixed with just the memories of what they have built. That scene of the what is it? It's one of the Albright builders, the guy with the square nose, that really built something emotional of that whole battle, especially knowing the betrayal of what these CP9 individuals been through, and also like just how that really comes all the way to a fulfilling end when the battle ended. It's just something that again, I never actually thought I would be interested or be captured emotionally to see a lot of emotions. I feel like of course I did not cry at all when watching any of the scenes in One Piece, but man, it just builds up to another scene, and it just does it so well because it just has like just ways of fulfilling the writing and how it really just it's kind of like one of those animes or shows, of course, where I'm just so captured and interested just to see where the characters go, and it's crazy. There's so many animes like that, but for some reason, One Piece, I always try to tap into like how did they get this? Like the same thing with Sanji going to this restaurant and finding like ate some food from this old man, but also this food was so good that Sanji just ended up searching like what is the spices, what is the ingredients. That's what I'm trying to do with this whole One Piece arc and Water 7 specifically. How is this story captured me? How did it interest me? How did I get so hungry to the point where I end up watching Funimation, going into Funimation and watching the animes and just going into just like different, like, going through ads just to watch, just to get caught up. There's a certain ingredients to that story, and there is a part of story writing within me where I really wanted to capture that because for so long I built stories and it just, I never seemed to actually find ways to capture it, but to me, it captured me. And I also want to give that energy to other, people that wants to read that or see through that, because in One Piece, like it just does that so well. I mean, I guess it's part of like the artistic of its game, and also the amounts of practice that this studio has been creating this. And when seeing bits of just like the movies and stuff like that, because I tried to give a little taste, it just brings back my love for One Piece once again. Because now it's because of just the story writing, how it builds up. You know, it just really revives that, and having the emotions and also the different, like there's always a part of me where I fantasize the return of, and I'm not gonna spoil, but the return of Spanda, the return of Lucci. That would be terrifying. You can imagine how traumatized one of the characters would be. Like, I thought I killed you, but then you're back. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I kind of just want to see that. I want to see that through this anime once I move on. And that's why I'm really captured in, like, will one of the children of, like Lucci, or one of the people that is involved with them, will come back to haunt one of the One Piece crew. And of course, the Marines thing, man, there is like a lot of Marines. There's a lot of people fighting within the especially during its time with the whole arc of Eni's lobby of these pirate these like the CP9 and also the Navy coming out of nowhere, and just thousands just jumping in. I guess that's a theme in the show. You got thousands of thousand all against one, and all against only a few people in the crew, and they just tend to just knock them out with ease. Of course it is. It's like that, dynasty effect. But other than that, this anime like itself, I'm just sharing you my part of it, and it's so good to actually watch it. Especially the recap really helped me because I don't really need to watch the previous episodes leading up to Water 7. I'm already caught up because of the recaps, and it kind of really, it was a relief. It was like, thank goodness, I don't need to go through those many seasons just to get caught up. And for some people might find it annoying, like, man, there's long recaps and stuff. For people like me that haven't really watched One Piece for a long time and getting caught up in Water 7 really helped, I would say. But you can tell that I'm very passionate of this show because with all the noises in the background, I just find myself really captivated, really talking about One Piece and getting back to it. I'm starting to turn into, Ronald from Anime Productions because he loves One Piece. And now I'm building up to my love for One Piece and just the amount of content that it throws at you, but also the story of where it's going. I want to get caught up to it, the same thing that I got caught up to Ruby, which wasn't a problem because it had only like 9 seasons. Freaking One Piece had 13, or at this point, 20 seasons. I don't know, freaking 50 seasons. I don't know how many. One Piece has been out there for so long, ever since '06 when I was in elementary. But other than that, yeah, I'll end it here. This video is too long, and other than that, I really do love the show. Especially the whole Water 7. This image, I'll never forget. I'll never forget for the moments and what it brings. The emotion, not the emotional moments where I didn't cry at all, but just the idea. It's all about the idea of the emotions throughout the story. And that's what I like about the world building within this anime. I really do enjoy that. Other than that, I'll see you when I see ya. And yeah, one love, one peace. Ooh, okay, I'm out of here. Bye.